Education Director of DAMA Southern Africa, and I'm also a director and trainer at Modelware Systems. And we at Modelware Systems have developed a training course to help you get through the CDMP Data Management Fundamentals exam, as well as data governance and data architecture courses, which help you get through the specialist exams, but they also teach you how to do your job with data governance and data architecture, which is what you wanted to do. They're fantastic courses. Howard, my husband, he's the most knowledgeable data management person in South Africa, and I'll have lots of people backing me up when I say that one. He just loves data management, all aspects of data management. He's experienced in many of them. He's worked in most of them, and his courses are hands-on and practical. And you come away with having done all of those. You've done a data strategy, you've done a data SWOT analysis, you've done a business glossary, and all of those things. He's got Excel templates, and he can really get you well set on your way to working confidently in data governance and data architecture. We also do data modeling training, where we've got license to give Steve Hoberman's data modeling masterclass, and we call it How to Model Data. And it's also wonderful. It's practical, and people, experienced modelers, learn something. People who've never done a data model in their life come out with a bit more confidence to do data models. So that's our training. Oh, hold on, let me share my screen and you can see my presentation. Okay, can you see it now? It's down top of the mountain. The data quality, DAMA Southern Africa has endorsed Inflow Blueprint's data quality course if you want to do that to help with the exam. It's not as practical as ours, but it does help you pass the data quality exam. Okay, so we've got a person on a mountain here, and that's because we look holistically at a person's data management career, and we look at it as a journey, but really an expedition that gets people to the top of their professional mountain. This guy here has become a CDMP master in these areas. So he's got this brilliant view from the top of the mountain. And we actually ask people when they start with us, what do you want to be? Do you want to be a CDO? Do you want to be a great specialist? What's your ambition for the future? And that's the view from the top of your mountain. Quick word on DAMA International and DAMA Southern Africa. This little airport here, because our mountain is Mount Everest, as you probably guessed. This is a town called Lukla, where you fly in before you start the trek to base camp. And my part of this journey is to get people to write their DIAM fundamentals exam, the first exam in the series of 3. And that, to me, is like a trek to base camp to get you all the skills you need to start your data management career. Okay, so DAMA International is the provider of all of these exams. They back the CDMP certification. They were founded in 1980 by John Zachman and some other of these old legends in data management. And it was when they realized that data was important. Previous to that, the machine was king, those big mainframes that they used to use in those days. And trying to get those to talk to each other was nearly impossible. So John realized that the data was the important thing, that we take the data, we transform it, and then we can use it on our other machine. So they realized that they needed to start a support organization to uplift data management professionals. And there are many chapters around the world. Chapters are run sort of independently of DAMA International, that's the umbrella body. We are DAMA Southern Africa, but we're the only active chapter in Africa at the moment. We could become an individual member or a corporate member, and there's lots of helpful content and stuff on our website, dama.org.za. Okay, so the DAMA International provide us with the DMBOK. I'll tell you about it just now. The CDMP certification, the benefit of that is it's internationally recognized. So it's going to be recognized by overseas employers. It's going to help you get jobs overseas as well. It's just a proof that you're committed to your job, you're committed to your professional development, and you understand the principles around data management. It opens doors. We've had people say to us, now that I've got certified, I got this job because I'm certified. Or if you see jobs advertised, a lot of them now are asking for CDMP certification. So that's a good reason to get it. This is the CDMP Practitioner badge, which is my badge at the moment. I'll tell you more about that just now. All the exams are based on this super fat book, the DAMA-DMBOK version 2, which was a collaboration between all the major thought leaders in the knowledge areas. It's quite generic. It tells you what to do about data management, but it doesn't really tell you how, and it's vendor and tool agnostic. If it told us how and it referenced tools, it would have a very short life. So it covers all the knowledge areas. These are called knowledge areas, the data governance in the center, because data governance has to provide oversight and consistency of data management. This whole thing is data management, the whole wheel. We call data management, and then each of these are aspects of data management. It's an open, all the exams are open book, so you have to have your own copy of the DMBOK. You can get a PDF for $60 with 5 cents change, or you can get it a hard copy or Loots here in South Africa or Amazon overseas with a hard copy. Okay, the actual certification itself has levels, but you don't choose which level you're going for. It depends what you score in the exams. So the core exam is called the Data Management Fundamentals, and it covers the first 14 chapters of the book. So that's the first 14 chapters. It covers those chapters. And it's supposed to show that you have a broad knowledge of how data management all fits together. If you get 60% for that, 60 to 69, they will award you with this thing called a CDMP associate. It's kind of like an entry level. It's CDMP light. For those who are very new, it's great to get. But for those who've been working for a long time in data management, you want a practitioner at least, or even a master if you've got over 10 years of experience. So if you get 80+% in that Data Management Fundamentals exam, they will award you the CDMP Associate because you've met the requirements. And they'll award you badges for practitioner and master as well. But the problem is this associate expires. After 3 years, it expires and you have to rewrite it. So you have to get the master or the practitioner, you actually have to do 2 specialist exams as well. You see, it's fundamentals and 2 specialists. And then you're able to renew it after 3 years. You don't ever have to write exams again. So it makes sense to, get the full thing under your belt, full 3 exams, and then you don't have to rewrite. I'll talk to you about the specialist exams shortly. Each of those fees has got the DAMA Central membership in it. And Central membership lasts 3 years. That's why it expires after 3 years. What else do I have to tell you? Oh yes, the master, you have to be able to prove that you've got at least 10 years of data management experience in addition to getting 80% in all 3 exams. The practitioner, you don't have to prove any experience. It's just a guideline. The fellow is an honorary type of certification, like person like John Zachman is a fellow. It's by invitation. Okay, so the first exam we're looking at is the Data Management Fundamentals over the first 14 chapters. It's 100 questions and you get 90 minutes if English is your first language. If English is an additional language, you get an extra 20 minutes. So you get 110 minutes if English is not your first mother tongue. This Also, the exam building engine takes from a pool of about 500 questions and builds your personal exam. So if you were sitting next to someone, you would presumably get a different configuration of the questions. But they choose this amount of questions in each chapter. So heavy chapters are like data governance and data modeling. They've got 11 questions. And lighter chapters are things like data handling ethics or big data. They've only got 2 questions. All of this adds up to 100. And then also within each knowledge area, it delivers you the questions within knowledge area. So you'll get all your modeling questions. And then you'll get, it'll change, and maybe you'll get your documents and content questions, all 6 of them. And then it'll change, but it doesn't tell you it's changing. You just see, oh, I'm in modeling now. Oh, I'm in quality now. You know, that kind of thing. It also gives you a weighting of the questions. So they're not all the same level of difficulty. They all have a question and then a choice of 5. Some of them, 50% of them, are very easy. You'll find the answer in the book when you look it up. They tend to not paraphrase anything. They use the exact words from the book. They quote from the book. So if you've got a PDF, your search function works very well. And they're not trying to test your English, so that's why they don't change the words from the book. And they're not trying to test, you know, how good you are at tricky questions. It's trying to test your data management knowledge. So they try to avoid those double negatives, you know, what is not, and they try to avoid those, and they try to avoid anything that's supposed to trick you. So they're very fair. So 50% of the questions will be those easy ones where there's 1 right answer and 4 obviously wrong answers. And if you look it up, the words are exactly the same as in the book. Then the next 50% are slightly more difficult. They're sort of distinguishing between the practitioners and the associates. And they often have alternatives, which means that maybe 3 of them are right, but you've got to figure out which is the most right. There's only 1 choice in each question. You don't have to pick 2. And then the last ones are those that distinguish between the masters and the rest. And those ones tend to be application type questions. They'll give you a scenario and, you know, you've got to apply your knowledge. So it's not directly in the book. The answer's in the book, but you can't look it up like that. What else did I have to tell you? Oh, yes, there's no negative marking. That's the other nice thing about this, no negative marking. So once you've done your first exam, they'll award you the associate and the practitioner and the master badge, depending on what you get. Then Badger is this application that tracks your badges. When you have done all 3 exams, Badger will issue you with your practitioner badge or your master badge, depending on what level you're at, what percentage pass mark you had, and then you get a certificate signed by the president of DAMA International. That's your certification. We've got lots of online participation. We've got lots of online free training. DAMA Southern Africa runs webinars most Mondays and Wednesdays. And the African Data Management Community Forum is something that we've launched as Modelware. So Howard's dream. He's always had this real heart for Africa. So that's why we called it African Data Management Community. And we're really trying to attract people from Africa. We actually get quite a lot of people from India, which is really, really nice. Sorry, I missed my chat box. I'm not watching the chat. I see you bought the book already. Great. So you can join up with those. Every Thursday, we have a webinar. They're all from 4 to 5. The DAMA essay ones and on the Wednesdays and the Mondays and Thursdays. And the Thursday ones are really great because Howard goes in depth into one of the knowledge areas. We've just finished metadata last month, and this month we're doing data architecture. So every Thursday you can learn more about data architecture. So please join these groups. Debbie will help you join up. They're linked in groups that you join, and then you'll get all the invitations to the meetings. And we've also got Meetup groups that you can join on as well, at the data management, ins and outs of data modeling. That's happening on Monday. And then data privacy, data governance and ethics, and big data and data science, plus our every third Wednesday of the month, our general chapter meeting. And all of it has got good information to help you. Everything is lined up with the DMBOK, so it's all helpful for your certification as well. And on our website, you'll also see where the events are taking place. And you can get access to all the recordings, all our DAMA recordings and our Data Management Community Forum recordings. The links to that are on our website. Okay, so the specialist exams, you do your data management fundamentals, which is called the core exam. The specialist exams, we've got a choice of this. Data architecture's in progress. It's a work in progress. It should come fairly soon, but you've got to pick 2 of these. And you do have about 3 years to do them all, but we don't advise it. We advise when you decide I'm going to certify, get all 3 of those exams done fairly quickly, so that you've got it behind you and you never have to write them again. I've done data governance, data quality, and data modeling, and they're all fair. Also 100 questions, also 90 minutes for English first language, and 110 minutes for English as a second language. I'm going to try those ones and we'll see what they look like. Okay, we've also got a list of recommended reading material, which we keep updating. So Debbie can give you a link to that. It's a spreadsheet of books that you can get, PDF books you can get from Steve Hoberman's publishing company called technicspub.com. I asked him for a link because DAMA International didn't really get back to me when I said I wanted 2 books per knowledge area, not 20 books, which they've got on their website. So Steve gave us 2 books per knowledge area. And if you buy them from him, the PDF version, just use our company code as a coupon and you get a 20% discount. That's for preparing for the specialist exams. The specialist exams require you to you're working in that area. So you've got a bit of experience in that area. You also follow the current thought leaders and the trends from that area, although everything is based on the chapter in the DMBOK. So the modeling chapter in the DMBOK doesn't give you enough information for the exam. You do have to have followed Steve Hoberman or have been on our modeling, how to model data course. It's just more depth. Governance, most of it is in the DMBOK, but we expect you to have maybe followed John Lagley, read some of his material. The data quality, Deming Duran, and basic statistics. There's 6 questions on mean, median, mode, standard deviation, and probability. So there's a little bit more in those specialist exams than is exactly in the DMBOK, but everything lines up to the DMBOK. That's the important thing. I did my data governance exam with just my DMBOK, and everything I needed to look up was in my DMBOK. So the DMBOK is what the basis is. They're just expecting that little bit extra from those people who want to get MasterPass. Okay, so recertification. You got your certification, 3 years have passed, now what? You don't want to rewrite. So you do want to make sure that within those 3 years, you've done your 3 exams, because that CDMP associate will expire and you can't, if you rewrite it, I don't think they give it to you. They never used to. You have to get practitioner level. You're only allowed that once, and then you have to rewrite and get the practitioner level. So after 3 years, you'd have to redo everything. So we suggest you, even if you get an associate pass in your fundamentals, but you want to do a full practitioner or you want to go for it, go for the specialist exams. There's nothing stopping you, and you can rewrite that fundamentals for $211 instead of $311. But try to get the full certification so that you can renew it. The renewal will cost the price of the DAMA International membership, which is $50, plus $50 admin fee. So it's $100 to renew rather than $933 to rewrite everything. because it's 311 per exam. We're also expecting them to ask for some kind of proof that you've done professional development. Attending our webinars counts. So you have to attend 30 of our webinars in 3 years, and that's not hard. So we're not sure of the process. We'll get all the details, but we know that you have to renew after 3 years because of that expiration. And we don't think that associates is going to be able to be renewed. We have to rewrite. Okay, so to prepare for the exams, this is the way I do it with my data management for certification course. You have to study this whole book. So I prepared study notes, I prepared summary notes, you know, like the study guide. And remember at school when we didn't want to read the book, we just got the study guide. So I prepared a study guide and we go through the entire DMBOK in 4 days. So you know where everything is so that you can look it up in the right place. And this is how we do it. Day 1, we go over all that, what the exams entail really quickly, like what I'm doing with you all now. And I do chapter 1, chapter 3, and chapter 13 because those are heavy duty chapters, 11 questions, and they go well together. Data governance and data quality go brilliantly together. And then chapter 15, 16, and 17 go over the essential concepts because you do need to understand what they are. They get referred to in the other chapters, but they're only examined in the data governance specialist exam. So the data governance specialist exam is chapter 1, 2, and 3, and chapter 15, 16, and 17. And within each chapter, there's a little bit of what is data governance's responsibility within this, for oversight within the knowledge area. And often data governance is responsible for setting standards and collaboration with that knowledge area specialists, setting the policies and the processes and the standards and the metrics. So that's part of data governance's oversight, and that will be in the data governance specialist exam. So day 2, and for this course, I assume you haven't opened the book. Some other courses that they give overseas assume you've studied and all they do is practice questions. I assume you haven't opened the book. So I explain in great detail, especially the day 2, when a lot of people are more governance oriented and they've got to do architecture and modeling. So that's the technicality of the modeling is quite heavy. So that's why we only do 3 in that day 2. And metadata and modeling are 11 question knowledge areas. Need to make sure you understand those well. Day 3, we do all of those things about moving and sharing. And they're also quite heavy. Reference and master data and data warehousing and business intelligence and big data and data sciences analytics. And then we're able to do to have a look at the practice test on the DAMA site, because we can still have a look at my practice test and we can see how you fare with that. It looks exactly like the main exam. I'm going to show you it shortly. In day 4, we mop up with what we haven't done, and then we can go over whatever we really need to again, and we can do the practice test again. Now, after we've done that, these are our how-to training courses. So you don't even have had to have written your exam, but we do say, get it done. You can go for these how-to courses to attack the specialist exam, but these are all good technique courses. The how to govern data, how to model data, which is Steve Hoberman's, and you get with that one, you get this brilliant textbook workbook, comes with the course. And data architecture, which is Howard's course as well. Also practical exams, and then data science. So we've got all of those, which we really want people to come on so that they can get completely certified. So it's how to model data. We've actually moved it. So it's going to be the first week of August if anyone still wants to come on it. The next, this is old. We need to update it. The next governance course, I think, is September. Now, when you finish my course, the 4-week countdown to the exam study group is free. And I encourage everybody to come on it. It's process of working through the book again together, and every Friday we have a study group meeting where we go over all the problems that you've had during the week. I've developed some practice quizzes as well and some mind maps, but it's called the 4-week countdown to the exam study group, so that you commit to write the exam at the end of it. And so that nobody gets confused, we're going to do this exam and get it done, because I've had so many people that did the training before lockdown, before in 2019, and they still haven't written the exam. It's the exam doesn't expire, so there's not that pressure to write it, but gee whiz, you need to get it done. I'm also doing a monthly pre-exam refresher course for 900 Rand a person for those people who've been left it so long, where we just do practice tests and go over areas of difficulty and commit to write the exam that weekend. So I'm really trying to push people to get over that stumbling block of writing this exam. So that's this is free for anybody who's attended my course, and that's a Saturday weekend thing. So the refresher course, the CDMP's Fundamentals refresher course. Our learning path, I remember I told you I'm taking people from Lukla to base camp. We're trekking there to write our fundamentals at base camp. Howard takes you up the mountain. He's the head Sherpa to get you to the top of Mount Everest. And this is an example of a learning path for somebody who wants to speak at international conferences. Their desire is to be a thought leader and speak at international conferences. So we do the assessment to see if that person is a good candidate for what they want to do. We do the prep course, we do the core exam, they get over 70%, and then they decided to do data governance as one of the specialist courses, data modeling as the other specialist course, became a practitioner, passing both exams, did Steve Hoberman's own data modeling certification, which we can help with, any of these other certifications. This is Steve's one where you need 90% to pass. Howard helps prepare a case study for anybody to speak at an international conference. If that is what you want to do, you want to be a thought leader, you want to speak at conferences, well, we've got Mondays and Wednesdays available for anybody to prepare and speak. The DAMA SA community is a safe space. We're a friendly bunch. So when we get people coming into our training or approaching us, we do an assessment to see whether you're a specialist, a thought leader, an executive, or if you just want to be the manager of a team. You're a team person. You love team. You love seeing people do well. We've got a 3-level assessment that we developed because we found that those professional assessments weren't appropriate for what we wanted to do. We know everybody's got the cognitive ability. We don't need to test that. We just need to know that you're a good fit for the data management role that you want to be in. And those professional companies didn't know how to fit people with the data management roles. So we've developed, first of all, our level 1, this little block here. If you would like to do our Gregorich's thinking styles assessment, I will send you a report. That's our first level. We want to see whether you are concrete sequential, concrete random, abstract random, or abstract sequential. And they kind of fit with these blocks here. The second level we do, it costs 950 Rand to get a Clifton Strengths. We did the Clifton Strengths assessment, and that helps us even better to see if people are suitable for those areas. And then finally, Howard has aligned the data management maturity assessment to an individual. And then we get results coming out like this. This is a Power BI processing of it because he applies Power BI to everything. There's a thinking score style, which this is everybody that's done it. So the more information we can collect, the more we are able to prove our hypothesis. This is the Clifton Strength scores. You see, they lump them into these 4 categories: strategic thinking, executing, relationship building, influencing. And they kind of map to our Gregorich's thinking styles in a way. And then finally, the capability, knowledge, life cycle. We use the DMBOK activities and deliverables in the life cycle, and we do that 3rd assessment. And then we've also got tailored type of courses for professionals, data stewards, and data managers as well. Those ones we would tailor to a company's needs. Okay, so that is the training. Let me just end this show and show you how to sign up for the exam. Has anyone got any questions so far about the exam levels and how you can prepare? It's a lot of information, and Debbie can send you the recording, the link to the recording and the slides anyway. And feel free to email us if you think of anything else you want to ask. So here's the exam booking site. You go to cdmp.info and you go to book an exam. At the bottom here, there is the Data Management Fundamentals exam that you're going to book. That's the core exam. You can book specialist exams here. There is no order in which you have to take them. It just makes sense to do the fundamentals first and then the specialists. But you can purchase all 3 exams from the one spot. So English is my home language. So I'm going to do the standard version. That if English was not your first language, you would choose that English as a second language, ESL version. It says here standard version, the cost, and then you proceed with order. And proceeding with order, we'll just add it to the cart. And here it asks you your email address, and then you can pay with your credit card. Then they will send you a sign on to the Canvas, the exam platform, which I'm going to show you now. There's log on to Canvas. So you can pay by credit card, or if your company has sponsored you, which most companies in South Africa do, we prepay for you and give you a prepaid coupon. You put in, I need to add a coupon code, and then it takes you to the site where you put your coupon, add your coupon. It's as simple as that. So once you've done that and you get your sign on to Canvas, your login to Canvas, let me just show you at the cart where it says your email address. At this point, put in your private email, because if you move companies, your certification is yours, it stays with you. It is possible to change it, but that's a bit of a schlep. So put in your private email address there. This is my work email, so I didn't heed my own advice, but it's my company, so I'm not going to move. Anyway, so here we go. Email address, and then you log in, and there they will have loaded up the tile of the exam you've purchased. If you purchase 3 of them, your specialist exams, all 3 tiles will be on your dashboard. I don't know why my data quality is still here. I've done that exam now. This is the only one that's waiting for me because I want to redo it so that I get the master pass. I got 70 for that, and I've redone data quality to get the master pass. So this is all I need to do to redo the master pass. And then it shows you this is an old view. They haven't changed this one, but I just want to show you what a practice exam looks like. The practice exam and the main exam look exactly the same, except there's 100 questions in the main exam, and the time is 90 minutes or 110 minutes, depending. There's this really, really good facility in this in both exams, so they look exactly the same. In fact, some of the questions are actually exam questions. There's a little flag here. If you don't know the answer or you think you want to look it up, you flag it, you guess it. I don't know what that answer is, I'm just guessing, and you move on. First pass through the exam. Don't look anything up. Keep your book to the side. Don't look anything up. Just pass through on your knowledge, because some of them are so easy and you mustn't waste time. You pass through on your knowledge. Oh, I know this one. I know this one. He's a recognized subject matter expert. I don't need to flag it, so I move on, and so on. Let's say data governance, move on. How do people maintain commitment? Oh, it's communication, communication. I move on. Those are all governance questions. All governance questions. Then we get a group of documents and content questions, and so on. Right down at the bottom here. It's either on your right-hand side of your screen, but my screen is small, so it's on the bottom. There's a counter of your questions. It shows you what you haven't answered, what you have answered, and what you flagged. And it keeps your time running. So go through the whole exam without looking at your book. Flag everything you want to look up. Guess it. There's no negative marking. So you flag guess, because even if you have no idea and you run out of time, you've got a 1 in 5 chance of getting it right. Once you've gone through the whole thing, then you go back and this jumps it right back, and you look up what you need to look up. I set my phone timer for an hour, and I tried to get through the whole of the quality in an hour without looking anything up. It was tempting, but I didn't. And after an hour, I went back and I looked up what I needed to look up, and that worked for me. And I had enough time to look everything up that I needed to look up. But people run out of time, and they take too long, and they panic at the end. So this practice exam is good also because of the time allocation gives you a sense of the speed at which you need to go through. So you can pace yourself. It's one and a bit minutes per question. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but some of them are so easy. You know, like, what does CRUD stand for? I mean, that's you take like 5 seconds and you've answered that one, and you move on, and then the time adds up for you. So here on this dashboard, they also keep track of your badges. And it keeps track of your process through this, your badges. And hopefully I've got my data quality badge, course badges, and it shows me the progress loading up. And Badger allows a prospective employee to verify your badges. So they can go to badger.io and verify that you indeed have the certification that you say you have. And these badges are pretty cool because you can share them on LinkedIn and, you know, bragging rights. So I don't know why this is looking like that, but they've changed something. So it says here I've got data modeling and design at a master level. No, really? Not earned. Okay, so you see I didn't. Yeah, they definitely changed something here. Okay, basically that's what it is. Badger will keep. This page has been disabled. Sorry, I'm not helping you now. Is there anything else any questions I can answer?